Why?
There's a lot of people building bunkers, people who...
But anyway, one of my favorite things to do is asking questions to people who believe in evolution.
Around the web. This is Around the Web, where we watch videos that are going to make you rethink everything, and I mean everything. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, like and subscribe below. My channel needs it. Hope you guys like the video. Do your own research. Let's go.
Can somebody explain to me, why is she taking this New York Knicks garbage can? So, this Knicks fan, her name is Angie. She stole a garbage can. She wasn't supposed to steal it. She was all over social media with it. She put it on the train. She's taking pictures. She got fired from a job. Yep. She worked for Chase. You cannot make this up. Imagine losing your job that was paying you over $200,000 a year because of a scripted championship, and you decided to take a garbage can. Even though you got garbage cans at home, you decided to take that garbage can. It went viral and you lost your job. This is wild. Like, if you was making all that money at Chase, you could have paid somebody to do that. You could have had somebody with you to do that. You didn't have to do that yourself. You littered on the streets, you dirtied the whole street, you took the garbage can, then you returned the garbage can, and now they're auctioning and giving away those same garbage cans. What is going on out here, guys? Then Sanitation posted this. We missed you. It's back. You see what it says on it, $100 fine. Why would you do that? You was making $200,000 a year. Why would you even risk that over a scripted garbage can? Now the Sanitation is giving away these same viral trash cans that you took and cost you your job. You cannot make this up. I cannot believe that she lost her job that was paying her over $200,000 a year for a scripted championship, for a garbage can that she's not even gonna put in her house and she end up returning. Why return it? You lost your job. You might as well keep it. Not just playing about, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Angie, I feel bad for you. I don't know why you did that. This is wild, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Would you have taken the garbage can? Because I would not have did that. I got garbage cans at home. I'm out.
That was a bad idea. She was making $200K a year and she lost it for a trash can. Yeah, she's sick.
This is really fucking bad, and everybody should be talking about this right now. An estimated 550,000 to 570,000 gallons of chemical slurry. Contamination from the catastrophic chemical tank failure, if you haven't heard, has flowed into the Columbia River. Possibly the region's deadliest industrial accident in modern history. Like it says right here, the spill happened after a massive storage tank fell during a morning shift change, sending an estimated 550,000 to 570,000 gallons of chemical slurry pouring through the mill complex and in a nearby drainage system. Scott Goldstein said that testing of water samples has confirmed contamination into the Columbia River, which consists of, like it says here, white liquor that is a mix of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide used to break down wood chips in the craft pulping process. It can cause severe chemical burns on contact, and in waterways can harm or kill aquatic life. Goldstein said that people should steer clear of the diking network north of Industrial Way from Washington Way to Prudential Boulevard and towards Memorial Park Drive, where contaminated water still sits in the system. Meanwhile, the human toll of the disaster continues to grow. 2 people have died, 7 workers are still hospitalized, and 9 are still missing inside the damaged mill complex. This is a very serious situation, people, and I will be keeping everybody updated on how bad it really gets.
So if I ever shave my face again, you'll know. It's a thing. It's not our world.
None of this is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
Y'all think this shit is a game. I told y'all that this summer might be one of the hottest summers in human history. The NOAA already gave an official super El Nino warning. And this ain't just for America. This is worldwide. And now you see what's happening in Europe. You got 1,000 people dead from a heat wave. Temperatures raising higher than they ever seen before. Mind you, they're not used to those type of weathers. They're used to everything being much cooler than it is right now. They're not even used to having air conditioners because it doesn't get that hot there. But you see what happened when the norm starts to shift? You got people fighting in Europe to get air conditioners. You heard what I just said? They are fighting at different stores to buy air conditioners. Mind you, go down a rabbit hole, you'll see people were trampled trying to fight over air conditioning. And the craziest part about all of this is the summer has just begun. This is only the beginning. 50 million people lost their life in 1877 because of an El Nino. And now you fast forward to 2026 and this is what's going on. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning.
There's a lot of people building bunkers, people who make the top AI programming. Zuckerberg has taken a lot of Hawaii and building underground massive bunkers. And there's people building fucking rocket ships so that they can leave Earth for when that revolt could potentially happen. And there's so much fear, and especially when you talk to two billionaires about this, because they're shooken up. Everyone loves to see a CEO fall, a billionaire's life collapse. Like, that's the internet's the constant theme right now. Is like every week there's a new CEO that's like getting brought down because they want to see people collapse and be at their level, because a lot of people are suffering and struggling. We all are, but there's a need for that equaling of the playing field. And when you get to CEOs and billionaires, like, people do not give a fuck. Like, they want them to see them go.
Look at that hot Luigi dude.
Oh yeah. A few people have mentioned the 2027 theory. Are you familiar with this?
Steve-O's crazy.
It's this kind of same idea where basically when we reach ASI, which is artificial superintelligence, that's around 2027 is kind of the estimate. It could be a year after that. It could be a year before, but that's kind of the ballpark.
It's coming.
And once we hit that point, basically humans they've already, in a lot of ways, computers have surpassed us, but we're still needed as a necessity. But when we reach ASI, which in maybe your world, maybe it already does exist in some capacity, or who knows, but the idea is when we reach that, we're basically become somewhat useless.
So he's got the login for the beta.
Yeah.
See, that's crazy. I've learned my fair share of AI, and it's evolving so fast that I can't even keep up with it. So I agree 100% that in the next year, 2 years, we're going to be obsolete soon. I don't know. If you agree, leave a comment.
Slipping into at rock bottom, right? Where life loses all of its ability to sustain and please you. And then the only thing that's left, the same thing at rock bottom, the only thing that's left at cliff top is you have to find what you're actually looking for, and what you're actually looking for is you. You're looking for you. You're running around, right? When you like a woman and you like being with a woman, it's because you like how you feel. Right. You like what's happening inside of you. When you have money, it's like, yeah, it's cool to buy things, but it's not the money. You like how you feel inside. It's unleashing a feeling inside. And at rock bottom and at cliff top, what you have to learn how to do is generate that feeling without anything external. You have to learn how to like you so much that you like being alive so much that you bring positive energy that's not generated by stuff, right? Because stuff is coming and going. Right. Like, people are coming and going. Everything you have and everybody you love is going to rise and fall in your life. The place that we have to find is a spiritual place where we are good with us. We trust us. I trust myself. I trust God, and I trust life, that whatever happens, I'm going to make happy out of it. I don't need specific things to happen.
Facts.
This guy puts a bell in a vacuum chamber and then pounds this bell as hard as he possibly can. And you cannot hear any sound whatsoever. But take a look at what happens when he adds air back into the chamber.
And as we let the air in, now I think you can hear the bell quite clearly. And that's a very nice experiment to demonstrate how air is needed for the transmission of sound.
Air is needed for the transmission of sound. So with this being said, why don't we take a look at this spacewalk where we can hear sound in the vacuum of outer space, which makes literally no sense at all. What medium is this traveling through in the void of outer space? That doesn't make any sense at all. It literally sounds like they're underwater. They're probably just filming underwater, and they have a green screen Earth, and they're just LARPing being in space. Because you need a physical medium for the sound wave to pass through. because it passes through the physical particles and causes a vibration. That's how sound even gets to you. And that's why sound can travel faster in water, because it has a denser medium to pass through. Sound travels even faster going through metal. But I made this video for entertainment purposes only. Of course, sound can travel in a vacuum.
Everybody else see the subliminal messages right in front of our face? See how Fox News tells us that war and evil has won. If you don't believe me, watch this. You just turn it around. There's war and evil won. Evil won. With the all-seeing eye up there in the right hand.
Imagine a world where instead of everybody knowing every single brand name and celebrity name, it was common knowledge that we all knew all of the bird species, all of the flora and fauna of our local native ecosystem. I guarantee that just about anybody can name 10 brand names, 10 celebrities, but I cannot guarantee that anybody can name 10 bird species or even 5 native plants that should be grown in their backyard. And this is deeply a problem, because how can we protect the land, how can we protect our ecosystems if we absolutely know nothing about it? Sadly, we have become very distracted, and there are people upset about a TikTok relationship or a celebrity drama while data centers are going up everywhere, ecosystems are being destroyed, and we're not even upset. We don't even know anything about it because we're so distracted. And once you start learning though about the natural world, you start opening your heart to the beauty of life and understanding how incredible it is. You cannot turn a blind eye anymore. And that becomes very powerful, because together, if we start caring, restoring our ecosystem, stewarding the land, really realizing we're all in this together, that is a very powerful energy. And I promise you, being tapped in with your local native ecosystem, bird watching, knowing the species that are all around you, the bird calls, the plant species, you learn to forage, you create native habitats where you live, and you are just rooted and connected to your local native ecosystem, is a very incredible energy. It is the way of the future. I believe it's a really potent medicine that we're all longing for deeply, even if you don't realize it. So please, let's build a world where we know more about our local native ecosystem than we know about some celebrity or big company brand name.
I agree with that 100%, and I need to be better myself. We can all probably do better.
This. So I sent him 30 questions. I thought they were perfectly legitimate, fair questions. I said, a woodpecker's tongue goes all the way around the back of his head and comes on top of his left eyebrow, left nostril here. Would you please show me any fossils that have been found, intermediate species between a normal bird and a woodpecker, with his tongue going all the way around his head? What evidence do you have of how this evolved? That question never came up. I don't know what happened to it. But I said, termites chew on wood and they swallow it, but termites can't digest it. It goes into their stomach, and there's little tiny critters in their intestines that actually digest the cellulose. Now those little critters can't live without the termite, and those termites can't live without those critters. Which one evolved first? I thought it was a fair question, but it never came up. I don't know what happened. I think they lost my list. But anyway, one of my favorite things to do is asking questions to people who believe in evolution. So I asked this professor if I could ask him some questions about the Big Bang. He said, sure, what would you like to know? I said, well, sir, you told me 20 billion years ago all the matter in the universe was squished in this little tiny dot, and it was spinning faster and faster and exploded. I said, where did all this matter come from? He said, well, we don't know that for sure. I said, okay, now, sir, hold it. If I told you that I believe about 6,000 years ago God created the heaven and the earth like the Bible teaches, you're going to say, and where did God come from? And I don't know. But you said 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang, and you don't know where the dirt came from. So basically, I believe in the beginning God, and you believe in the beginning dirt. Don't tell me my theory is religious and yours is science. Oh, no, sir, they're both religious.
Why is this a thing? The CIA released a brain code that cures pain. All you have to do is repeat the number in your mind, 55515, and it will work. And since this document has been released, so many people have come forward and say that this actually does work. Now, obviously, like, it doesn't cure, like, extreme pain. But, like, for example, my cat scratched me earlier today, and I was thinking it in my brain, and it worked. They also released to remember, if you're trying to, like, remember a part of your life experience, you can close your eyes and touch softly with the fingers of your right hand to the center of your forehead. And when you do this, you will recall and remember immediately what you were trying to remember. They also have a code for reducing emotional charge. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, hold your breath for a moment, and then think of the calming, cleansing color green. When you do this, exhale slowly, and the green energy will push all the excess harmful emotional charges down through your physical system and out through the soles of your feet. This daily tools document is really interesting. I really recommend taking a look at it. It's one of the more interesting documents that I feel like everybody can appreciate. It's not just like boring government.
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% know is true?
Root canals. There's this YouTube video, which before was a documentary on Netflix before it got pulled after 2 weeks, known as The Root Cause. The Root Cause discusses the big psyop by dental industry and by big pharma to fuck people's health up through root canals. You can't even watch it in the United States. You have to turn on a VPN because it's banned by the American Dental Association, which is in bed with big pharma. And I can say that because dentists can't say it because they'll lose their license, but I can say it because I don't have a license. I had a root canal recently removed, and once they did the DNA biopsy on the tooth, they found 20 different types of parasites growing and living inside of my jaw. So stay away from fluoride, and now stay away from root canals.
Here's another conspiracy theory. You've seen all the grainy footage of nuclear test blasts that you've
Sure.
with the mushroom clouds, and there are always these grainy things, and there's all these like little houses lined up and these little trees lined up, and it blows everything down. Yeah. Okay. So here's the question, right? So what happened? Okay. So this is great. Okay, you'll love this. So what happened to the camera?
You son of a bitch.
How is that happening yet the camera is like totally stable and fine?
Oh my god!
And by the way, and the film is fine. The radiation didn't cause any damage to the film.
Oh my god!
And by the way, okay, we'll do this one. We'll do the loop one more time here. Where's the? Let's see the car.
The car's right behind the house. It just showed up.
Okay. It just showed up.
So wait a minute. First of all,
it wasn't there.
First of all, where'd the car come from?
Yeah. No car.
The second is, does it really look like
car?
A real, does that look like a real car?
That's insane.
Is that a house or is that like is that a 12-inch scale model?
What?
Right.
That does look fake.
There's also the camera didn't move at all either.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the smoke is too big. Watch when it hits. Like the volume, like the size of it, it looks small.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, it looks like we're looking at something that's like a few inches tall.
If you watch like making of Star Wars, any of the any movies before CGI, whenever they do anything like that, it's always with these tiny models.
Yes. Yeah, this looks fake as shit.
Glamour Gals collection. Glamour Gals! Doll, party place, fancy fireworks, the show place collector's case. Each sold separately. You can send in proofs of purchase from any 3 Glamour Gals dolls. Jessie, Danny, Lonnie, or Shara in any of 3 outfits. And get Jessie in fancy formal.
Everyone is losing their minds over this 1981 commercial, calling her a time traveller, and honestly, I was ready to ignore it until I seen it side by side. You cannot tell me that there's not some similarities. But then someone pointed this out, and actually, it gets weirder. Now people are pulling up photos from 1985, and it's the exact same face. The forums are going insane right now, just tearing apart the timeline and the bone structure. It's not that people are saying she's a clone, it's the noticing how often the same face just shows up throughout history. At what point does a coincidence stop being a logical answer? Because it just feels like the internet is catching on to something. Does anyone else see the pattern? Let me know, because I'm done trying to make sense of all this.
This is nuclear physicist Dr. John Mullen. He discovered how to generate clean and free energy as opposed to oil. Days after this discovery, he died of arsenic poisoning. Dr. Don Wiley. He found the cure for HIV/AIDS. He mysteriously disappeared and later was found deceased. Dr. Mark A. Smith. He found a treatment for Alzheimer's. He passed away in a freak accident. This is Frank Suarez. He apparently found the cure for cancer. He mysteriously took his own life a couple of days later. I don't know, folks. This is suspicious, blowing my mind when I found out about it.
Guys, if it is the government taking these scientists out, or whatever powers that be are taking these scientists out, I don't understand what the point of doing that is. Because if the world was easier, wouldn't need to rely on money or to take people out to get money, because everything would be plentiful. I don't understand it. It literally makes no sense to me. So, you guys have any answers to that or reasons to why they would unalive somebody? The answers, let me know in the comments below.
There's a place.
That's probably just a tweaker or something. Who knows?
In America where gravity bends, people shrink, and water flows uphill. But the weirdest part is the man who discovered what's really happening there burned all of his research, saying that the world wasn't ready. This area is known as the Oregon Vortex and is one of the strangest physical anomalies in the United States. Just outside Gold Hill, Oregon, there's a wooded area known as the Vortex, and the second you step into it,
more and more people are now saying that the CIA codes that were released are actually a real thing. And I was like, CIA codes like weapons or something? They're like, no. CIA codes related to the human body and how just knowing these sequences can change your body. How can a sequence of numbers affect your body? And how she described it, the woman who was like, this is a complete joke, and then tried it and said her pain is gone. She focused on the area where she was having the pain while she was having it, and then repeated this sequence of numbers, 55515, over and over again, kind of turning it into like a mantra, would say it out loud. It worked. I dug into this because everything fascinates me. There is a pain relief code, the 55515. There is a peace code. There is an unexpected money code. We're talking a sequence of numbers for income. And wait for it, they also have them for weight loss and reality shift. Who knew? And apparently the romance code is another one that people say they swear by. You don't have to just walk around chanting these numbers to yourself so that you sound crazy to everyone. You can just visualize this sequence of numbers, focus on what it is these numbers are supposed to be doing for you. We are also saying write these numbers down. You can write them on your body. Show them to water before you drink the water. Apparently being related to that study where they took water and like drew a picture of like an animal or something, then took the picture away and then stuck the water in like a freezer. And whenever they took the water out and ran it under a microscope, there was a picture of that animal, proving that water had memory. If it works, it works. Thanks, CIA.
That should prove to you guys right there that we got to be in a simulation or something. That's facts. If that's true, is crazy. But you never know. The CIA has done so many different experiments on so many different things. Like, they got so much information. It's nuts.
Watch this. People don't realize how big the Amazon is, and there are pilots that have flown over it, and they say that it is more intimidating to fly over that than even the ocean, because in the ocean, if something goes wrong, you can maybe sort of land it and have a chance if you can float for a little while. In the Amazon, if you land, first off, you're in the middle of nowhere. Like, you can be 100 miles of just trees around you, even if you do land successfully. And then landing, I mean, landing on top of trees is harder than really landing on water, because in water, you can kind of slide down and do it gently. Where are you going to land if it's just trees under you? People just don't realize how big and how vast it is. And I think the most interesting fact about the Amazon that I have found is it covers so much land that it is about as big, like roughly about as big as the continental United States minus Alaska. So you go from Florida to New York to Washington down to California and then through Texas. That whole area is about as big as the Amazon rainforest.
You know those flock cameras that have been popping up all over the US, right? Do not, under any circumstances, point a high-powered green laser at the flock cameras. This cannon will permanently damage and or disable the cameras and require them to be replaced and cost the company money. So please, under no circumstances, do this.
Okay, this video is going viral right now out of India, showing, well, a shocking scene. And over here, we've banned plastic straws, so that's just great, isn't it? But here's the crazy part, what no one's talking about. And by the way, it's like, dude, let's clean up this beach, man. If all the people on this beach started picking stuff up, it'd take like 2 seconds. But anyways, it turns out that the Ganges River, which that probably was, is one of 10 rivers that is responsible for 95% of the plastic going into the world's oceans. By the way, the Yangtze River here, which is the longest or one of the most important river systems in China, is the biggest plastic polluter. So you think of India and plastic pollution, but China actually has a big problem with these two, with this river here, the Yangtze. But let's take this a step further. Who's making the plastic bottles? And first, how many are being made per day? It's estimated 1.3 billion plastic bottles are used every day. But the companies that are making it is only a few. So we could suggest that a lot of the plastic in the ocean, of course, it's not, 100% the plastic manufacturer company's fault, but I mean, they do have something to do with it. Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Nestle, Danone. That's the one where people think it's clean, but I'm sure it's not. But then what about hemp plastic? Because as you can see here, hemp can be made into a plastic for a single-use product that will degrade in 80 days. But is there as much money in that? Is the unfortunate question we have to ask. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Species. Recent reports have said that there are perhaps 4 different alien species, Greys, Nordics. How many species are you aware of?
I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal, bipedal type life to, what I would consider like sentient plasmoid life. But there are several that the U.S. government is aware of.
A question for you, Mr. Grant.
Okay.
During the course of your investigation, it's been surfaced to the public that there's been a program by the name of Immaculate Constellation. During the course of your investigation, did you recognize that the infrastructure to support such a program for exfiltration of data from federal systems would exist?
Yeah, I can't comment on the content of that program. I've discussed on my interview in Judicial Watch that was a National Security Council program. And the secrecy started in 1954 through an Eisenhower executive order that created that infrastructure.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Do you have a sense of how many cases the government might be aware of that involve non-human biologics?
Quite a few, several dozen. So that's an ongoing list. So I can't give you an exact number because I didn't even have full access to that information.
All right, guys, that was the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. That last one was crazy. If that is real, it should be headline news everywhere. Bipedal sentient beings around the world that are with us right now. That's actually mind-blowing. Hope you guys are questioning some things. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Around the web. Thanks for watching.